Hey guys, so today I want to talk to you guys about my new home theater receiver. So this is the Marantz Cinema 60. So I just moved into a new apartment. I was thinking about upgrading my receiver. So previously I was using a Marantz NR1510, but it's a little bit low power. It's 50 watts per channel. I was thinking about upping the power a bit because now I want to use it with my new, I want to use it with my neat Ministra loudspeakers, which do require a bit more power to drive. So I was just looking around at different brands, the usual Denon, Onkyo, Yamaha, and the Marantz, of course, because my previous receiver was a Marantz as well. And one other brand I was looking at is Anthem, because Anthem is a Canadian amplifier receiver company, and they make some very well received products as well, but they're mostly well known for their room correction software, ARC, Anthem Room Correction. And so that's one big draw for them. I was looking at the MRX 540, but it's pretty expensive. It's like $1,800 US, which is quite expensive. And I guess you can find cheaper Anthems online, but they're usually older models. I want to go with some newer models so I get all the newer features and stuff. So that was pretty much the main competition for this. The Marantz Cinema 60, this by the way also costs around the same price as that Anthem, $1,700. Except I actually got this one at a heavy discount online. I got this for $1,000 online. I just saw a really good deal for it on eBay, and that's pretty much what swayed me to it. Because, I wasn't actually thinking about getting this Marantz. I was thinking about the Anthem, but it's just a little bit out of my price range. I don't know if I can justify like that much for a receiver, right? $1,800 US is quite a bit. Although, the big thing about the Anthem is the ARC, the Anthem Room Correction, which is superior, I think. Many people think through the Odyssey, which is what the Marantz comes with. So yeah, that's really the thing I'm losing out on, but I got this for a pretty good deal. So I just saw this for $1,000, snagged it up. Because yeah, retail price, this Marantz Cinema 60 is $1,700, which is quite a bit. Normally I would not pay that. But yeah, I paid like $800 for my Marantz NR1510, my previous receiver. So this is $200 more, and I think it's a significant upgrade in terms of power. So yeah, we're just going to go through this receiver. So this is basically all that came with in the box. So you get the Odyssey microphone. So again, this company, Sound United, I think owns Marantz and Denon and Onkyo. They all use Odyssey in their receivers, which is kind of, Odyssey is better than nothing, but most people would consider Odyssey to be kind of weak compared to the other room correction software. So compared to ARC on Anthem, compared to Lindorf's Room Perfect, compared to Dirac Live, it's considered not as good. So it's unfortunate that that the Marantz actually comes with this, but I know there's an upgrade for Dirac Live, but only for Marantz's higher end receivers. So on their Cinema 40 and Cinema 50 line, I believe they can release an update for Dirac Live, which is a superior room correction software. But unfortunately, for whatever reason, Marantz does not put it on their Cinema 60 on this one. And I don't know why. I guess they don't consider this high-end enough, even though $1,700 is, I would say, considered fairly high-end. But I guess it's not for Marantz, right? For Marantz stuff, this is considered like a mid-range receiver. So they only want to put the Dirac Live update on their highest end receivers. I guess it's an incentive for people to buy them, which is unfortunate, so I'm stuck with Odyssey. Yeah, better than nothing, but it's not Dirac Live. And then the power cord, of course, for the Marantz. That's one of the things I want to go for the Anthem Marantz for the ARC, but I don't see Anthems on sale. That's the thing. On the MRX 540, which is the one I was looking at, I couldn't find one on sale. So anyways, the Marantz is what I went with. It also comes with this box that has, and this is actually fairly well presented. This has the remote, the antennas for the Bluetooth, and then 2 AAA batteries, and you have the manual here. So yeah, so I show you guys the remote here. It's a little bit nicer looking compared to the lower end Marantz remotes. So this one is, I like how they put like the gold accent and stuff to make it a little bit nicer looking, a little bit more premium feeling. But otherwise the same buttons. You have the media, you have 6 different HDMI inputs on this one. I would have preferred 7, but anyways, that's 6, which I think is still plenty enough for most people. There's an eco mode for some reason. I don't know what that eco mode does. But then you have the standard controls, for any kind of remote. There's a tuner, HDMI out sleep mode, which is interesting. Yeah, HEOS, a dedicated HEOS button. So HEOS is kind of the same app, I guess, that Denon, Marantz, Onkyo, all these Sound United brands use. It's kind of similar to DTS Play-Fi, I would say. Is it links to your home network. You can play music from anywhere off of your home media servers, your NAS servers. You can just set it up to, or streaming, right? Just streaming from Spotify or Chromecast or whatever. You can just set up a lot of these things on HEOS, and that's the app that Marantz, Denon, and Onkyo, these receivers, they push. So, oh, and there's also like a side button here, which is, I wonder what this button does. There's like a side button here. And yeah, there's a movie, music, game, and pure. So that's the 4 different sound modes here: movie, music, game, and pure. What's pure, I wonder? I think there's like a pure direct mode, which bypasses some of the circuitry, I think, for more pure direct sound. I'm not really sure how that works, but anyways, there's a pure direct mode. I also had that on my Leak Stereo 130 as well. I think a lot of people think it sounds better when in the pure direct mode, so Marantz has that. Alright, so yeah, Bluetooth antennas, AAA batteries, and then this is the manual here. And basically it's a fairly, it's not like a really thick manual, but it's you know, it's got a fair amount of content in it. Okay, well actually not a lot of content. Now it's like looking at the other languages. Okay, for the actual English language, there's only a few pages. Never mind. Yeah, so I think most of the setup's going to be done on the TV, which I'll show you guys later. And then there's actually a dedicated HEOS. Is this an advertisement? This is like a brochure or a pamphlet for HEOS. They're really trying to push HEOS, huh? So this is like basically like DTS Play-Fi. It's just the app that you put on your smartphone. You connect it to like a streaming service or to your home media servers and stuff. But yeah, that's the thing they're pushing, is their HEOS app. And then this is the setup stuff for the microphone, I think. Oh no, this is for the AM antenna. Yeah, this is for the FM antenna. Never mind. Yeah, so this is for AM antenna and FM antenna. I guess if you want to tune into radio, which I don't really do, but yeah, you have that. And then you have, this is with different stickers, I think, you can put on your Marantz to help you indicate things. Yeah, so you have different stickers for like front left speaker, surround left speaker, right, front height, zone R, subwoofer 1, 2, center channel. I think there's stickers for so you can help indicate which speakers, I guess, connect to which outputs. You do that. There's a setup guide for this is the whole this is the whole stand thing. Okay, so this is the microphone stand for the Odyssey mic. So yeah, you guys saw the Odyssey mic right here, which I think it uses Odyssey Multi-EQ XT, but not XT32. XT32 would be preferred, but I think it's just XT. And yeah, this is the you have to construct your own makeshift mic and then mount the Odyssey mic on top of it. So again, it's not great. Like Durac and ARC comes with better mics, I think, so, and better stands. Anyways, this is what Sound United chose to go with. I guess they have a deal with Odyssey. And yeah, this is the receiver itself. It looks definitely more premium than my previous lower end Marantz receiver. So in their Cinema line, they try to give it a really premium feel, and I guess this is another thing that kind of swayed me to Marantz over Anthem and some of the other ones, is because this one just looks better. I mean, aesthetically, most receivers is just like a big black box, right? So it's not that great looking. Actually, you just have it. It's like a big black box, but at least the Marantz Cinema line looks pretty good for receiver, right? Most receivers don't look that special and look very bland and industrial looking. Yeah, this one actually looks pretty good. So let's go over the controls here. So you got the power button right here, and then you got the input selector switch. So you have, like I said, 6 different HDMI inputs you can switch between. Then you have pure direct mode, which again, I'm not quite sure what this does, but it bypasses some circuitry, I guess, for better sound maybe. There's a MDAX mode, which is a Marantz thing. I usually put this on, maybe enhances the audio, I think. There's a zone on and off mode. Zone 2 source, yep, zone 2 source. Then there's a tuner. You can, I think this is just for, they really like pushing a radio thing or something. But anyways, you have a tuner here. Dimmer, is that for the LED here? Status, and then this is sound mode, which is the 4 different modes, I think, that was on the remote. So there's a gaming mode, music, and movie mode. We'll test it with different modes as well, right? So I'm going to try it with music, with movies, and then with games. And then I'll also use the pure direct mode as well, see if there's any difference. There's a charging port here, I guess, which is interesting to have on a receiver. I guess it's nice to have it. I didn't expect that though. And then of course you have the rotary volume dial. So that's it for the front. And this is a very heavy speaker. Obviously it's bigger and heftier than my previous Marantz. Alright, very solid build quality, as you would expect from Marantz. So Marantz is a fairly high-end Japanese audio company, I would say. They're like, actually I wouldn't consider them maybe on the same level as Technics. Technics might be even higher end, but they are definitely in general higher end than Denon, and definitely higher end than Pioneer and Onkyo. Yamaha as well. Yamaha actually makes some pretty high-end receivers. I think it's better if I show the back of the Marantz more close up, because the I/O is one of the most important things about a receiver. So yeah, you have 2 Bluetooth Wi-Fi antennas there. You have FM and AM radio antenna inputs here, and then you have your digital audio in, 2 coaxial, digital coaxial in, 2 optical in. And you have a DC out, RS-232, which is a serial. I don't use this, but some people might find it useful. Flasher in, again, I don't use this. Some people might find it useful. Remote control in and out here. And you have, this is a signal ground. I think you can, oh yes, because you can hook it up to a turntable. So this is a phono in. So it does come with a moving magnet phono stage. So that's what the ground is for. And then you have 4 sets of RCA analog inputs here. You have a zone 2 here. I don't really know what this does because I don't use zone 2, but some people, chime in the comment section. I don't really use this, but it's there. Then pre-out, you have front, surround back, and center. So you have dedicated each for the pre-outs, and you have 2 subwoofers inputs as well. And then you have a total of 7 channels here. So this is a 7.2 system essentially, right, with the 2 subwoofers. But I believe you can actually configure it to 5.2.2 as well. If you want to switch 2 of these channels to height channels instead for your Dolby Atmos, which by the way, this supports Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, DTS:X, and then yeah, this is Mult EQ XT for Odyssey, not XT32 unfortunately. But yeah, it supports all the newest features and technologies. But yeah, 7 channels here, so 7 speaker terminals. So you have your front right, front left, center, surround right, surround left, surround back, and left and right. So by the way, this receiver is 100 watts per channel. So yeah, it'll drive all your speakers here at 100 watts each, which is a significant upgrade over my previous Marantz, which is only 50 watts per channel. So this is 100 watts per channel, literally double the amount of power. And yeah, it says impedance 4 to 16 ohms, cluster wiring. I think most speakers should be around 4 to 16 ohms, should be no problem. And then you have your Ethernet and your HDMI inputs here, 6. And these ones are 4K inputs, and these ones are 8K inputs. Now I don't have an 8K TV, but those of you who do, 3 8K inputs right there. They are HDCP 2.3. Then we have 2 HDMI outputs here, HDCP 2.3 as well, both 8K, one of which is eARC compatible. So that's probably the one I would use. And then you have your AC in here. So that's it. That's the back of the receiver. Of course, the I/O is one of the most important parts of a receiver, right? Because a receiver really is the combination of a preamp and a power amp and a surround receiver all in one system. So, there's pros and cons to this. You save some space and money, of course. On the other hand, you don't get as much flexibility as with separates. But yeah, that's the back I/O. Alright, so here's the Marantz Cinema 60 turned on right now. You can see the display here. It's an interesting display because it's like a nice circular display. That's how Marantz chose to use the design, I guess. But yeah, you can switch between different inputs here. I can choose to switch between HEOS, the tuner, phono, CD, TV audio, aux2, and you can actually rename these inputs too, like this one, PlayStation 5, PS4, I actually custom named that one Shield. And I think I named one the Switch as well. Yeah, Switch, that's my Nintendo Switch. And then you have all these different options here, which I'll play around with later. The MDAX option, you turn on or off right there. Set it to low, and MDAX really is kind of similar to, what's that Sony technology? Or DSEX or something like that. Sony has something similar, and Creative actually has something similar as well, the XFi. Yeah, so a lot of companies have something similar, but it's basically upscaling your sound. Basically, it's trying to restore some of the lost, compressed formats. They're trying to restore some of the lost data or something like that. I know it's kind of weird. I think Harman had to clarify as well, which does something similar. A lot of companies do something similar, right? Sony, Creative, Harman. But yeah, this is Marantz's technology, MDAX, and you can set it to low, medium, or high depending on how much you want to restore, and I don't know how well it actually works, but yeah, I guess if you have some compressed files or whatever, this might add a little bit more clarity to them. But in general, I think this is, it's not going to do too much, right? I don't think it works too well. Like these kind of technologies, they look cool, they sound cool, but I don't think they actually can restore anything lost. I mean, it's a compressed file is a compressed file. How are you going to add data to it, right? So there's only so much you can do. But it might add a bit of clarity, but I leave it on low. If I put it too high, I guess it might sound too processed. And then I don't know about the Zone 2 stuff because I don't use that. Of course, you have the FM radio stuff, which I don't always listen to radio too much. I have a alarm clock radio anyways, my Rourke R4. So yeah, I don't really need this receiver to do that. Status, you can see that. Sound mode. You turn D surround, DTS Neural X, DTS Virtual X, multi-channel stereo. I'm going to leave it to, I wonder which one's the best here. I'll just leave it to Dolby Surround, I guess, which is, yeah, that's the one I'll leave it on. And then this Pure Direct mode, which I can turn on to Pure Direct or Auto. I wonder what Auto does. Yeah, I'll just leave it on Auto, I guess. Maybe I don't know how it switches even, like, Direct, Pure Direct, or Auto, I'm not sure. Anyways, that's what pressing the Pure Direct switch does. Alright, so this is the Marantz Cinema 60 setup menu. Just by pressing the setup button on the remote, you can go here. And this is all the different settings here. So if you go to audio, you can adjust the level of subwoofer, surround parameter, MDAX, volume. I haven't set up Odyssey yet, I'm going to do that in a bit. Graphic EQ, you can also use EQ on here if you want for the audio. Video settings, HDMI setup, of course there's a whole bunch of other settings you can do here as well. So if we go to HDMI setup, yeah, you can choose the pass-through, arc, all that stuff. Output settings, yeah, you can adjust that. On-screen display, yeah, it's screensaver, 4K case signal setup, HDCP setup, TV format. A lot of different settings there. Inputs. You can assign or rename your inputs, like I said. So if we go to source rename, for example, this one will show you all my current inputs right now, which is right now I have the media player set to my NVIDIA Shield, the Blu-ray set to my PS4, game is set to PlayStation 5, aux1 is set to Switch. So those are the four I'm using right now. Speakers, you can set up the Odyssey speakers. Let's do that in a bit. In the network, of course, I'm connected with to an Ethernet right now, but you also have AirPlay and Spotify Connect, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth as well. So there's a lot of different inputs. HEOS account, right? If you want to set up HEOS, really, I think Sound United and Marantz are really pushing this, right? People to get HEOS, so you have it all here. If you want to use that, it's just the app you can install on your phone, and then you can stream stuff from your phone, right? General settings, right? This is just for Bluetooth transmitter. With the eco mode, it's just some power saving feature. Yep, Zone 2 setup. Again, I'm not familiar with the Zone 2 stuff. Trigger out, I'm not familiar with that. Firmware updates, uses data save and load. Okay, this is even you can save the settings to a USB device if you have like a multiple Marantzes you want to set up or something. That would be interesting. Setup assistant. Okay, yeah. So, anyway, so a lot of different stuff you can choose to set up here. Okay, so if you guys haven't used Odyssey, this is how the setup works. So basically, you have to create your microphone stand first, and this is very makeshift, right? So like Marantz and Odyssey basically give you this cardboard which you use to construct a mic stand, and then after you construct this mic stand, you just put this little microphone and you just nudge it in on top into these slots. And I know this is like to me this is a very like unprofessional way of doing this. Like it looks like a college project, right? I can't believe Odyssey, this is how you set it up, right? It really looks like something you would do in a college or university project, but this is the way that they do it. They give you this makeshift stand you have to construct out of cardboard, and then you put this microphone on top of it, and then you have all these wires hanging out. Like you gotta like calibrate like which of the openings it goes through, and then depending on where you want to set it up, and then you put this microphone, this 3.5 millimeter microphone end into this the Marantz. So here goes the setup mic. So there's a setup mic input right there. You put it in there, and then that's how you connect the Odyssey mic. Yep, so I got that, and we're going to do automatically, so amp assign channel select. Okay, I'm just going to use the main zone here, and oh, okay. Yeah, we're going to start here. So here we go. It says connect the microphone to a tripod. If you have one. If you don't have a tripod, okay, so you can optionally use the tripod if you don't have the stand, but they do give you this makeshift stand that you can construct. Okay, we're going to do next here. Connect the calibration microphone set. Oh, yep. So I connected it to there's a setup mic input in front of the Marantz receiver. Like all the Marantz receivers with Odyssey mics have that. Connected it. Make sure your subwoofer is plugged in, turned on, which it is. I'm using currently a Martin Logan Dynamo 400 subwoofer. Please set it at 30%. Okay, I think I already have it set to 30%. Okay. 8 different positions. Please point the microphone towards the ceiling and adjust the height to match the ear level. Make sure you're always 20 inches from the back of your wall for each test. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to put the Odyssey mic where I would normally sit and see how it measures it. So this one is put right in the middle of the sofa here. Okay, now we're going to begin the setup. So that's the result of the Odyssey setup here. You can tell that it detected front, center, and subwoofer. I don't have any surrounds hooked up right now, but I can tell you guys my front speakers right now are the Neat Acoustics Ministra bookshelf speakers. They're $2,000 bookshelf speakers, so they're not like super high end, but they're not low end either. So they should be pretty good. And then my center channel speaker right now is a Martin Logan Motion 8i, and my subwoofer is a Martin Logan Dynamo 400. So those are my speakers that I'm using right now. So now I'm going to put the microphone at the second listening position I have. Put it there and do another setup. Okay, now the third listening position, which is the other side of my sofa. Right here. Okay, cool. So that's all three of my listening positions. I don't have a fourth listening position, so I'll just complete it. So then this is Odyssey Dynamic EQ and Dynamic Volume. Automatically does do not listening. Keep that off actually. Speaker preset 1. Okay, now it's going to analyze and correct the room data. It disconnected. So again, I think this is a pretty hacky thing that Odyssey does, is it makes you construct your own speaker stand from like cardboard. Gives you a pretty cheap looking microphone. So yeah, I don't think Dirac Live or Anthem ARC I think has better setups than this. But hey, that's what we get with Odyssey here. And that's what Sound United uses, so I don't have a choice right now. Okay. Done here. Okay, done. Alright, so that's the setup for Odyssey. Alright, now let's try out a movie. I'm going to use Kodi, because Kodi actually connects to my NAS servers, which has my music and movies on it. Yeah, let's connect to my movie server. Let's go to movies. It's a good movie to try. Let's try some anime movie. I'm gonna go with some good looking movies here with try Your Name. I think it's pretty good looking. So zoom from here. You guys can hear how good this receiver is with movies, which is I'm sure a lot of people want to use it for that. And by the way, my center channel speaker is a Martin Logan 8i. So yeah, Motion AI is my center channel speaker, which is pretty important for dialogue mostly. But you guys can see or hear that there's some ambient music in the background, as well as the dialogue coming through. You guys can hear even the ambient sounds in this scene
高校卒業した
coming
ら
through the
どうす
speakers
る
pretty
の
well.
なんやさ急に将来とかの話、別に普通にずっとこの町で暮らしていくんやと思うよ俺は。
Yeah, so that's pretty good. I guess I could hear the soundtrack coming through, and then the scenes where there's ambient noises like the insects and chirping and everything coming through.
Ripley?
I'll tell you what I know. We sat down on LV-426. One of our crew members was brought back on board with something attached to his face, some kind of parasite. We tried to get it off. It wouldn't come off. Later, it seemed to come off by itself and die. Kane seemed fine. We were all having dinner, and it must have laid something inside his throat, some sort of embryo. He started...
A bit further, maybe.
Unknown. It looks like all of them. Over at the processing station. Sub-level 3, under the main cooling.
The molecular acid oxidizes after the creature's death, completely neutralizing it.
Bishop, you know, that's very interesting, but it doesn't really get us anywhere, does it? Trying to figure out what we're dealing with here. Let's go through it again. They grab the colonists, they move them over there, and they immobilize them to be hosts for more of these. Which would mean that there would have to be a lot of these parasites, right? One for each colonist, that's over 100 at least.
Yes, that follows.
But each one of these things comes from an egg, right? So who's laying these eggs?
I'm not sure.
Let's try Wonder Woman. Get to the action part. There we go. Some more action parts.
Sing!
You...
It's about what you believe. And I believe in love. Goodbye, brother.
Alright, so yeah, that's some action scenes that you guys can hear coming through the Marantz sound system pretty well. So I'm just going to play some music from YouTube right now, and if you guys are wondering why I always play the same tracks on all my speaker and headphone reviews, that's because these are non-copyrighted music, so unfortunately I can't play some really famous song or anything, so you guys just have to listen to these ones again. Sorry, but it's, you know, copyright. This is the other track I use to test usually, so let's try this one. It's very this is the other track I usually use to test. It's very bass heavy, so let's check out this one. So yeah, that's some music playing from the Marantz Cinema 60, which is pretty good, I think. You considering it's compressed YouTube music, it's still pretty good. So yeah, the Odyssey Mult EQ, I think did a okay job. It's generally just considered okay, I guess, for people. Obviously, Dirac Live and Anthem, ERC, and other ones would be better, but it's alright at adjusting everything. I think if I didn't have the subwoofer, I would try to adjust the bass level to overcompensate for the lack of a subwoofer. Once I put the subwoofer into the system, then yeah, basically the bass is not overpowering anymore. So yeah, I think it's alright now. Alright, so we're going to play a PS5 game now, show you guys what gaming is like with the Marantz. I'm going to pick Ghost of Tsushima because this game is a really beautiful looking game and has some nice ambient soundtracks and music. Okay.
若様、そろそろです。
ああ、今参る。
島中の者がお父上を弔いに来ております。
皆を返してくれ。
何をおっしゃいますか。若様が堺の家督なのですよ。
ああ。
お一人ではありませんよ。お父上は風となり導いてくださる。
Feels pretty immersive, even just from the front speakers in the center channel.
ってくださいます。
おじ上は
ご本人がお伝えくださいましょう。
助かった、ゆり。
堺殿の息子とあらば お前は我が子も同然だ。
I was actually a little bit surprised this was developed by a Western video game company, not a Japanese video game company, because it's really Japanese.
何よりも民を守られた。
And they did a good job, I guess, researching
誠の
Japan.
ものの不よ。
It really captures the Japanese vibe really well. And I think pretty up there with, like, you know, Japanese-inspired video games or Japanese settings, right? Like Sekiro and Nioh as well. But those are by Japanese developers.
すべて私のせいです。
ジン、それでも武士か。
父上は私をかばって。
息子を守るため戦で死んだのだ。無念はない。それがモノノフ。これからはお前が意志を継げ。あやつの魂はこの太刀に宿っておる。これを父と思え。
This game's already pretty cinematic to begin with. This is almost like watching a movie right now.
明日わしの砦に来るがよい。迎え入れよう。今日は父に別れを告げろ。
父上、お導きください。
Yep, so yeah, I think the soundtrack for this game comes in really nicely, sound effects and everything. Really beautiful looking game too. Yeah. Feels like I'm walking through like Japanese forest right here.
動けって頼むから。
ユノ、ユノ。
ジェン、どうだった？
志村殿を見つけお助けしようとしたがあえなくハーンに。叔父上は嘆いておろう。
あんたが無事でよかったよ。
命を捨てても対馬を救うつもりが今や猛虎に故郷を乗っ取られ味方もいなくなった。
自分より強いやつに負ける気持ちわかるよ。情けないよね。でも死んじまったら元も子もない。生き延びるためなら何だってやらなくちゃ。
このまま再びハーンに挑んだとしても返り討ちに遭うのは必定。他の手立てを考えねばなるまい。そうして志村殿を救い 故郷を取り戻そう。
だったら私が。
騎兵だ。ハーンの番犬だ。
大勢で来る。まずい、隠れなきゃ。
댄디가 못 있어. 역시 토스타일.
Oh well. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, this is Ghost of Tsushima.
ハーンの番犬だ。
大勢で来る。まずい、隠れなきゃ。
Yeah, I can hear the sounds.
댄디가 못 있어. 역시 토스타일.
Okay. Yeah. Not too paying attention too much to the game right now, but
ハーンの
yep. Yeah, I think of course it works well for gaming as well. You know, all the ambient soundtrack and dialogue and everything comes through really well. So, anyways, guys, yeah, that's a bit of a demo of the Marantz Cinema 60. It's clearly an upgrade from my previous Marantz NR 1510. Definitely more power, twice as much output, right? 100 watts more than is double, like 50 watts, obviously. And I think the sound is pretty good. I mean, Marantz is well known for its sound, actually, compared to even other receiver companies. Yeah, these are both brands from Sound United, but Marantz is actually usually positioned at the top, higher than Denon and Onkyo. Yeah, I think sound quality is quite good. I mean, I would like to try some Yamaha receivers sometime. I think Yamaha would be another good one to compare to. And then some of the Technics stuff as well. Though Technics doesn't really make receivers, I think they make more integrated amps. And then yeah, the even higher end stuff like the Luxmans and Accuphase and other stuff, that's pretty much relegated to separates, right? Which is really high end stuff. You'll find that high end audio companies focus more on separates. That's just what more audiophiles trend to when you get up to the high end. Receivers are more for people who want to save some money actually, because they want to combine an integrated amp with a surround sound receiver essentially, and that's basically what a receiver is. And yeah, basically for people who are on a budget and need to save some space, that's really what receivers are for. For people who do have a lot of money, like audiophiles who have a lot more money to spend, then obviously you would get separates. So really that's what the higher end audio companies are catering to anyways. But Marantz is generally considered one of the higher end receiver companies. So anyways, Cinema 60 is one of their higher end receivers, not their highest end, but it's definitely in their higher end range. But apparently not high enough for Marantz to include Direct Live. And instead we get stuck with Odyssey, which I need to adjust the bass a little bit. I think that they overcompensated for the bass on here because for some reason it didn't think I had a subwoofer. I don't know why, it was playing from the subwoofer. So it adjusted the bass a little bit too much, but yeah, I'm not really that satisfied with Odyssey, honestly. So it'd be nice if this had Dirac Live, like the higher end models did. So that would be my major complaint with this one, is that it doesn't have Dirac Live. Only Odyssey Multi-EQ XT. So yeah, but that's what you get right now. Of course, if you want better room correction, then even Anthem ARC or Lingdorf Room Perfect would be even better, but those are more expensive too. So yeah, that's it, guys. The Marantz Cinema 60, tried it with music, movies, and gaming. Works well with all three. Of course, that's what most people were going to use a receiver for, right? So it definitely works well for me. So that's it, guys. Let me know if you guys have any questions or comments about the Marantz. Yeah, I would say that at MSRP, it's probably not worth it. I think that there's maybe other brands that you might consider, but if you can find a good deal for it, like I did, I found it for $1,000, and at that price, it's pretty much a no-brainer because it just came out last year, right? So it's fairly new, supports all the latest technologies and stuff. So if you guys can find it around $1,000 or $1,200, around that price range, then it's a very good buy. At MSRP, I don't think it's actually worth that price. But if you can find it for, you know, a discount, then for sure, go for it. And I do see Marantz on discount a lot more than Anthem, and yeah, that's just what I saw online. So let me know what you guys think, and if you're interested in picking up a Marantz Cinema 60, let me know. As always, thanks for watching.
둘만 그만 설레 아까만 더 해도 재밌잖아 이 밤을 세워더겠죠 너를 들려줄래 아주 작은 것도 다 알고 싶어 널 거기 채워더겠다 내 두 볼을